Hi everyone and welcome back. My name is Audrey Shantz and I'm a watercolor artist and a watercolor teacher. And today we are going to do the sketch for this one, which is a sweet pea. There's a free printable for this whole series. It's in the description below. You'll find it. This is a printable that you can use as a reference. And so that's got the sketch on it. You don't have to do watercolor painting. In this video, we will just be doing the sketching together. So for that, you'll need a pencil and an eraser. I've got a kneaded eraser here. And then I'm going to be doing this on 140-pound cold press watercolor paper because I'm going to be watercolor painting. But if you're not, you can do it on anything that you would like. So that's really it for supplies for this one. But as always, when I sit down to my desk, I like to grab a candle and light the candle, maybe have a little snack or something to drink. Make yourself a cozy space and use this as like a way to start like a ritual before you start doing some art. So with that, I'll turn the camera around and we can get started. So I've had so many people tell me that the part where we just stop and observe, they want to skip it and they're glad that they don't. It really teaches you to see differently and just to kind of make different observations. So this is the one we're going to do as a sketch. And just a quick observation of that is that the stem is pretty straight. They are larger, they get a little bit smaller and more rounded and bud-like as they get to the top. I think we'll do more of the observation from the painting this time, but for the sketch itself, there's some simplicity to it, a little bit of like almost symmetry to it. And this is where we're going with it if you decide to do the painting. But actually, I think we're going to take out these circles or they'll be optional. So the centers will be a little bit different. But just so you can see, this is where it's going. It is a stem of sweet pea flowers, larger to smaller. And I love how nice and vertical that stem is. It's kind of distinctive in that way. So we'll keep that too. And actually for this one, I don't think we need to do a lot more observing. So we'll grab your paper, and on mine, I already know, if you look at it compared to my other one here, I had more space here than I do here just because of how this one kind of cuts in a little bit more. So I'm going to try to split that difference and sort of find the center to put the vertical part of my stem, but I'm going to have to maybe work around these a little bit for the bottom. So we might even start from the bottom and go up so that we can place those carefully. So I'll keep this one kind of near us, but let's just kind of dig in and we'll see where we get. So this is over here if you want to even take a screenshot, since that one's on the screen. You can have that one to look at. Let me move my candle out of the way here. But that's my only concern with fitting it in here, and that's kind of why I'm doing these as I am. So hopefully we can find a space for them. So always with our pencil, we'll press very lightly with our pencil so we can easily erase, which means you can kind of be free and try different things because you know you'll be able to get it off of there. And then a nice kneaded eraser. I don't think you'll regret that purchase. They're like $3. So okay, I'm going to kind of find the center between this and this, and I'm going to do this really light little line. And I'm going to come for now all the way down to about here, because I know that would give me space here and here. So I think that's going to be great. It'll take me below this one for my bottom leaves or petals. Okay, and so that's a really good start. And then I know you can't see it that well. I'll try to press a little darker, but for now, I'm trying to make sure it's going to fit as well. So now we'll do, this is called like an aura. You're just going to do a line alongside of your line, and that's going to help you just to picture what the stem's going to look like. Okay, we might be erasing some of this, so we're pressing lightly. And then as we look at this, this one maybe starts just a tiny bit lower than this one, and the shape of them is very kind of interesting. We can find some straight lines and small curves, or we can find larger curves, but wherever you can find a straight line, I think that's going to really help you to kind of reinforce your shape. It's gonna, those little things add up versus this just being an oval. It will not have distinctiveness, and we want some distinctiveness to it. So from here, I think I'll just take, I want to kind of picture where this is going to go. I want it to fit in right here. So maybe I just go lightly, this sort of shape. Okay. And then I want the little stem to bring me in. So these stems are pretty much like at this angle all along the way on either side. Very similar. Okay. So that's nice. That's pretty uniform, easy to kind of remember. And this stem is going to come out just a little bit above it. and it's gonna have a large shape too. So let's actually, we'll go backwards for a second. This one, you know how we saw this straight line up top? Let's kind of make it straight, but remember, nothing's gonna have an edge or a corner on this. So if we do a straight line, that is only temporary, and I've seen some of you kind of leave them, so make sure you curve those corners later. So we've got this, and one thing I really want to see in here is that on our sketch, okay, this is something I didn't do yet, so stick with me for a second. It needs to be like in 2 parts. So if this comes out, these are going to be separate. This one's here, this is behind it. So if we have this shape, it's going to be like this. We don't want that to be a perfect line, and you'll see as we go, we'll try to make sure that that's more clear than I did in my original ones here. So we're going to take it up, and we're just these little curves over this direction, dips in and down. Okay, and now I see these lines going a little bit straighter, curving towards the right. And the whole thing is sort of almost like a rectangle shape, really. So what if I come over here, and now you see that? We've got that nice rectangle. I'm trying to let you see both at the same time, which in the middle of the paper is like not great. So let me back up. And I'm going to curve these a little bit. And I really want this one to kind of dip in around. I want this to look like 2 separate parts. That's all you care about for now, okay? And I'm gonna skip those circles. If you wanted those circles, you could draw them in now, but as I looked at more pictures of sweet peas, I didn't see those, so I don't know if that was just me, you know, like riffing a little or what. But, so here's one on this side, and we'll do this one. Now this one, do you see this part here? Let's make sure this line is here so that we can kind of get like, this is the outside, this is the inside of the plant, okay, or of the petal. So for this one, we're gonna come up. This runs alongside my stem, I can see that. Then it kind of goes off diagonally, but everything's kind of made up of these like softy curves. I'm stopping here because this part makes more sense to me. If I can get this on here, it will help. Let me try to move my lighting. I have a new desk, and it does not enable me to do my lighting the same way. So I will be working on that. Hopefully I can get it looking good. Do you see how I just did this part? This is like almost like a sliver of a moon. And the inside part though is curvy, right? So we can see some of that. And as I come this way, it's gonna have a good dip in and out with some curves. These don't have to be perfect, okay? But if you've got something like this, I think that's gonna be great. We're gonna come up, they're gonna get smaller. And what we need is space for 1, 2, 3, sort of 4 rows of them. Okay, so we've got this, we're coming up. Let's start this one. I feel like maybe here, you know what? That's what I'm gonna do. Bring you a different reference so I can keep it closer. That was smart. Okay. And so this one, look at the shape of this. It's like a big U, and it's almost like a Dairy Queen up top. Look at that. Tell me I'm wrong. That's like a Dairy Queen. If you don't know what that is, Dairy Queen's like the best ice cream place ever. It's like vintage nostalgia. I went there a ton as a kid. Something like this is gonna be great. We're not gonna overthink it, but we wanna have some nice curves and lines to it. The one next, I'm just looking at the other one, making sure I'm kind of similar to it. Okay, is gonna come very similar. Same thing again, get that stem on there. This one's gonna get close, pretty close. And I like that because that gives us some variety. So you can even overlap the edge of your stem here if you want to. It's easier to paint if you don't, but okay, so then we're coming up. This has like a point. It's like it's a baseball glove and the finger is pointing up a little bit. Isn't that funny? Maybe too much. I can settle it down a little bit. And as I come down this way, I see that we have this whole bottom part. So once again, I want to get this on here. I need 2 lines down here. 1, 2. So we'll take this one, curve it up, and then finish off this one. And if I don't like it, or if it's weird, like maybe that's too aggressive, I just grab out that eraser. We're never supposed to have things perfect on the first try, or I could never do any of this ever. Okay, so from here, we've got another like petal, and then we've got some buds up here. So we'll do this petal on the side, and it still is kind of close to the rest. Everything's kind of grouped together cutely. This one looks like peach, like a peach, or like a peach emoji. It looks kind of like buns, right? Because it's got this cute line right in it. So keep that in mind, and we'll try to get this one. I never really know what I'm going to say to you guys, but apparently we're going to talk about peach buns today, so. Okay, so I got this general shape. It's it's closer to a bud, right? But then I want to get this line through there. And that's all it was. Let me zoom in for you. Yeah, I just got this little line into it. Over here, we'll do another one, but this is more of a bud. Buds are, they're like ovals, but they're a little fatter on the bottom, right? And then this part is tighter at the top. Okay. The tricky thing is my desk is huge, which is awesome, but I can't get my lights that close. So stay tuned, I'll fix it. But for now, this big bud is on the top. So if we come back to this, you can see a couple different examples of that. And let me see, I'm playing with the light to see if I can get it better. Sorry guys. Okay, perfect. So we've got these buds right on the top of that stem, which I love. And then there's two that are sort of peeking out from behind. So this one up here, wider. I'm actually gonna just draw its top so I know where I'm going to. So see, I did a curve at the bottom, little curve at the top, and I'll bring it around and up. These are the kind of things where you might not get it on your first one, but look at it. So like, just get it on there anyways, let it be wonky, but go back and look at it before you paint this or before you're finished with your sketch, because you might then look at it again and go, oh, I see what needs to be different. And you'll just make these tiny adjustments and they really add up. Okay, so a bigger one is peeking out from the right, and we can see a bit of its stem here. So if you even want to draw the stem first, that way you know you'll be able to fit it. Otherwise you might not be able to fit that little stem on there. And really it's overlapping. So if you wanted to draw it, the whole thing, and we'll just erase what's actually going to be covered. I think that's very cute. So then we'll take out the lines that are in that big bud up top, because that's actually in front. So if it's in front, it shouldn't have the lines of something else going through it. And then right here, we've got this little baby. I like this little one back here. And you can really, we don't need the stem for that one, so we'll just get a little bit of it somehow. Just look at it, see what makes sense to you. And then from here, so you know how I said we want it to come like in two parts? I think that would just have like, there's just, all we need is an overlap right here at the bottom. So if I've got a little bit of this, that would be like the first part, and the second part might be behind it. So I can just change where that comes out from. I hope this is making a little bit of sense, but it's just, if you want to look up pictures of a sweet pea, I think there's different variations, and I was having a hard time finding this one. I was like, is this even a sweet pea? But like, I think it is, and we're good. And if it isn't, we're just drawing this one today, and that's okay. So from here, I'll do this overlap again, and you're just changing it. Just don't worry too much about it though. If without it, it's still a beautiful little flower. And I think we're like almost done with this, but let's think through, where do we want these lines to go through? So if the stem is coming out towards you, you're not gonna see a divider line. Do you know what I mean? But if it's behind, you might be seeing this vertical part in front of it, right? If it came behind it, but if it's coming in front, it wouldn't be covered. I hope that makes sense to you. So I'm just gonna go through and kind of erase some of those little connectors, and then I'm just gonna go through again. So this one's behind, so that's gonna be covered. And you're just gonna decide, do you wanna see those lines at all or not? And then I'm just kind of redrawing this a little bit. And anytime you're going over what you did, that's always an opportunity to sort of clean it up a little bit and make sure you like it. Cute, right? You can give this a little oval at the bottom if you like to. I like to do that a lot. And for our sketch itself, we don't need anything else. If you were like, wait a minute, I really liked those circles in there that I've got on all these little references, you can absolutely put them in, and I'll show you how to do that. It would just be, it's almost, think of it like a shell with a pearl. You know, they just kind of sit somewhere near the base and the inside here. How about this? We'll do them with them in, but if you don't want to have them in, because I don't think that they're as realistic to this plant, you take them out. Okay, I'm only doing it on the bottom 4, but this will teach you how to paint around them. If you don't want them, it'll simplify things for you because you just won't have to paint around them. And believe it or not, because we are separating our sketch from our painting in this series, we are done. We just need to write what it is. And remember, I am now questioning things, but I still think it's a sweet pea. So we are going to write that down. And if you would like to join us for the painting video, you can find that one next. They're going to go live at the same time and learn a little bit about watercolors. So I will see you then.